Crypto staking flows are some of the strongest on-chain signals. They reveal where capital is moving and how market sentiment is shifting, often before prices react. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Dispatch to track staking flows across protocols like RocketPool, Lido, Stater Labs, and other similar protocols. We'll be using Ethereum for this demo since it is the most active network for staking, but of course you can use the same steps across any supported EVM chain. So with that said, let's get started. Once you're logged in, you'll land on your dashboard. This is where you'll create what we call a patch. For this video, we'll focus on visualizing staking flows using Dispatch Monitor, but you can use the same steps to send alerts via Discord, Telegram, email, or webhook if that's what you need. So let's walk through it together. Now from the dashboard, we want to start by selecting our trigger interaction. So for our trigger, we can select smart contract activity. And then for our action, we can select Dispatch Monitor. Then we can click Complete Patch to move on into the patch builder. Now, this is where we define what kind of activity we want to track. So we can start by selecting the network. In this tutorial, we're using Ethereum since it has the most staking activity, so we can choose Ethereum from the dropdown. Now we'll select the smart contract. For this demo, let's monitor staking inflows on RocketPool. You can type the name in if it's already been added, or you can manually add it yourself if it hasn't been added. So for example, if it's already been added here, you should be able to see a RocketPool contract, but I have not added it in. So we can just scroll down a little bit and click on Add a Smart Contract. Now this is where we can add the RocketPool staking deposit contract address. So I actually have that on hand, and I'll just paste that in. For the contract nickname, we can give it a nickname like RocketPool Deposit Contract. Something easy for us to find later. All right, so now go ahead and click on Add Contract. Okay, great. So if you scroll down a little bit, we can see the events, we can see the functions. And this is where we will choose the events and functions that we want to track. So let's say we want to track new staking activity, deposits specifically. So under events, we can select deposit received. And then of course, under functions, we can select deposit. We can also select excess withdrawn. And then for the function, we can select withdraw excess balance. And you're obviously free to select more events and functions as you see fit. But for the sake of this demo, we'll select these two for now. So go ahead and click Continue to move on to the next step. Since we chose Dispatch Monitor earlier, it'll be auto-filled here. So just confirm that Dispatch Monitor is selected and we can click Continue. Now for the action details, it's just confirming that it will post in Dispatch Monitor. So we can just click Continue here. And because Dispatch Monitor doesn't require sending anything externally, there's nothing that we need to test here. The patch will log activity automatically once it's live. So we can go ahead and click Continue. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And for the last step, we just have to give our patch a clear name that will help us recognize what it's tracking. So for example, for this one, we can do RocketPool. Let's say staking deposits. It's an easy patch name that I can search and find later. Just go ahead and click on Turn Patch On. That's it. So now your patch is live and it'll begin logging any activity that matches the conditions that we just set. You can click on View Patches and this is where you'll see that most recent patch that we just created. And if anything fires, you'll be able to see it in your history. Obviously, nothing has fired yet in that contract. But it's pretty cool because you can see all of the conditions that we've set. And if you need to turn that patch off for whatever reason, you can go ahead and just switch it off. But we're going to leave that on and let the data collect. Now, let's say you want to view the staking activity. You want to see charts. You want to be able to visualize patterns and trends. All we have to do is head over to the Contracts tab, click on that contract that we're monitoring, which is the RocketPool deposit contract. And as activity starts happening and gets logged into Dispatch, you'll be able to see a real-time dashboard of the on-chain staking activity from this specific contract. But just to show what it looks like when there is activity, here is a patch that I've set up previously where we can see that the numbers are updating correctly. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the activity overview. We can see all of the active addresses. We can see some of the top functions. as well as the top events. Now, all of this data is just based on the past 7 days. If you want to extend the time frame beyond 7 days to analyze longer-term trends, you can upgrade your dispatch plan to unlock extended history and deeper insights. Yeah, so this is just a preview of what it looks like. You can repeat this process for other staking protocols like Frax Finance, Lido, Liquid Collective. Just create a new patch for each one and you'll have a full picture of capital movement across any staking protocols you want to monitor. And that's it. You now have everything you need to start tracking crypto staking flows. No dashboards to build, no code to write, just live on-chain data that you can act on. So whether you're making product decisions, watching competitor traction, or just keeping an eye on the market, Dispatch puts these insights at your fingertips. Set it up once, let the data flow, and get the edge that everyone else is missing. If you want to check it out and give it a try yourself, you can head to espresso.io and get started for free.